Welcome back, paranormal enthusiasts, to a video that's sure to send shivers down your spine. Today, we're diving into the darkest depths of the supernatural realm as we unveil the top 10 demonic possession cases. Ed and Lorraine Warren were American paranormal investigators and authors associated with many high-profile cases of alleged hauntings and demonic possessions. They were known for their involvement in the Amityville horror case. Among others, these intrepid investigators dedicated their lives to uncovering the darkest secrets that lurk in the shadows. From haunted houses to malevolent spirits, their cases have become the stuff of nightmares. Here are 10 notable cases of alleged demonic possession associated with the Warrens. Number 10. The Bridgeport Poltergeist, 1974. The Bridgeport Poltergeist case of 1974 is one of the notable investigations conducted by Ed and Lorraine Warren. This incident centered around a family living in Bridgeport, Connecticut, who claimed to be experiencing a series of unsettling and violent paranormal activities. The events reportedly included objects moving on their own, strange noises, and even instances of physical aggression directed towards family members. The Warrens were called in to assess the situation and provide their expertise. During their investigation, Ed and Lorraine gathered evidence and conducted interviews with the family members to better understand the nature of the disturbances. They ultimately concluded that the Bridgeport home was indeed afflicted by a poltergeist, a type of mischievous and often malevolent spirit known for causing physical disturbances. The Bridgeport Poltergeist case remains a subject of interest and discussion among paranormal enthusiasts, with some viewing it as a compelling example of a haunting, while others maintain a skeptical stance. As with many cases in the Warrens' repertoire, opinions on the veracity of the events continue to be a topic of debate. Number 9. The Devil Made Me Do It. The Devil Made Me Do It case of 1981 stands as one of the most notorious investigations conducted by Ed and Lorraine Warren. This case revolved around the trial of Arn Cheyenne Johnson, who was accused of the murder of his landlord, Alan Bono, in Connecticut. During the trial, Johnson's defense argued that he was under the influence of demonic possession at the time of the crime, contending that this malevolent force compelled him to commit the act. Ed and Lorraine Warren played a pivotal role in the case, offering their expert insights into the existence of the supernatural and drawing upon their extensive experience with cases of alleged demonic possession. While the defense's plea based on demonic possession did not ultimately prevent Johnson's conviction, it drew considerable attention to the case and further solidified the Warrens' standing in the realm of paranormal investigation. The Devil Made Me Do It case continues to be a topic of intense discussion and debate within the realms of true crime and paranormal phenomena. Number 8. The Haunting in Connecticut, 1986. This case revolved around the Snedeker family, who claimed to have experienced a series of intense and unsettling paranormal activities in their Connecticut home. The family reported a wide range of phenomena, including apparitions, strange sounds, and objects moving on their own. Ed and Lorraine Warren were contacted to assess the situation and offer their expertise. After a thorough investigation, the Warrens concluded that the Snedeker residence was indeed afflicted by a malevolent presence, which they believed to be a case of demonic haunting. This case gained attention and later served as the inspiration for the 2009 film The Haunting in Connecticut. Number 7. The Southend Werewolf case. This case revolves around Bill Ramsey, a man from Southend-on-Sea, England, who claimed to undergo a transformation into a violent, wolf-like creature. Upon being contacted, the Warrens investigated the case and concluded that Ramsey's experiences were indicative of a possession. They believed that an entity was responsible for these transformations. Number 6. The Perron family. This is a well-known paranormal investigation conducted by Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were prominent paranormal investigators and demonologists. The case revolves around the haunting experienced by the Perron family in their Rhode Island farmhouse during the 1970s. In 1971, the Perron family, consisting of Roger and Carolyn Perron and their 5 daughters, moved into a 14-room farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. Shortly after moving in, the family began experiencing a series of strange and frightening events, including unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, and apparitions. The Warrens were contacted to investigate the situation. During their investigation of the Perron family's home, the Warrens claimed to have encountered evidence of paranormal activity. They conducted seances, took photographs, and documented the experiences of the family members. According to the Warrens, they believed that the house was haunted by multiple spirits, some of which were malevolent in nature. The case gained widespread attention and was later adapted into the 2013 horror film TheConjuring, directed by James Wan. Number 5. The Smurl haunting. This case involves the alleged haunting of the Smurl family in West Pittston, Pennsylvania during the 1980s. Jack and Janet Smurl, along with their 4 children, claimed to have experienced a series of disturbing and frightening events in their home. These events included loud noises, foul odors, levitating objects, and physical attacks. The family reported experiencing a malevolent presence that seemed intent on tormenting them. Ed and Lorraine Warren were called in to investigate the case. They spent a considerable amount of time at the Smurl residence, conducting interviews, gathering evidence, and attempting to help the family deal with the alleged haunting. The Smurl case received significant media attention and has been the subject of books, documentaries, and even a made-for-TV movie titled The Haunted, 1991. It remains a controversial case in the field of paranormal investigation. Number 4. Connecticut's Union Cemetery. Union Cemetery, located in Easton, Connecticut, is often associated with paranormal activity and has a reputation for being one of the most haunted cemeteries in the United States. One of the most famous and frequently reported apparitions at Union Cemetery is known as the White Lady. She is often described as a woman in a white gown who is seen wandering the cemetery and its surrounding areas. There have been accounts of her appearing in photographs taken at the cemetery as well. Visitors to Union Cemetery have reported experiencing strange phenomena such as cold spots, sudden drops in temperature, and the feeling of being watched. The haunting of Union Cemetery drew the attention of famed demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren, who visited the cemetery on several occasions and compiled their findings into a 1992 book, Graveyard. Number 3. The Enfield Poltergeist Case. It is a well-known paranormal investigation that took place in the late 1970s in Enfield, North London, England. It was investigated by paranormal researchers Ed and Lorraine Warren, as well as other notable investigators. The case centered around the Hodgson family, consisting of Peggy Hodgson and her 4 children, who claimed to be experiencing a series of strange and terrifying events in their home. These events included furniture moving by itself, strange knocking sounds, and even the children claiming to have been physically assaulted by an unseen force. The Warrens, along with other investigators, visited the Hodgson family to assess the situation. They documented various occurrences, including witnessing furniture moving and hearing unexplained knocking sounds. The investigators also interviewed the children and examined the house for any signs of hoaxing or natural explanations. The case became one of the most famous poltergeist incidents in the UK. However, it was also met with skepticism, with some suggesting that the children were playing pranks or that the events were exaggerated or entirely fabricated. The activity in the Hodgson house reportedly diminished over time, and eventually the events ceased altogether. The Enfield Poltergeist case has been the subject of various books, documentaries, and movies. It was the inspiration for the 2016 film TheConjuring 2, which featured Ed and Lorraine Warren as central characters. Number 2. The Amityville case. This is probably the most famous case in Ed and Lorraine Warren careers. The Amityville case is a well-known paranormal incident that took place in Amityville, New York in the 1970s. The story revolves around the Lutz family, who claim to have experienced a series of terrifying and supernatural events after moving into a house where a mass murder had occurred the year prior. The backstory of the Amityville house is equally disturbing. In November 1974, just a little over a year before the Lutz family moved in, the previous occupants, the DeFeo family, were murdered in their beds by Ronald DeFeo Jr., claiming he was influenced by malevolent forces in the house. The Lutz family reported a range of eerie and distressing phenomena during their short time in the house, including cold spots, strange odors, swarms of flies in the winter, and unsettling sounds. George and Kathy Lutz claimed to have witnessed supernatural occurrences, including levitating objects and mysterious voices. Their experiences were later documented in the book The Amityville Horror by Jay Anson. 5 months after the Lutz family left, Ed and Lorraine arrived at the home to conduct an investigation into what had tormented the family. According to the Warrens' case files, Ed was physically pushed to the ground, and Lorraine felt a deep sense of something demonic in the home and was overcome with visions of the DeFeo family bodies laying on the floor. The Warrens also captured a photo of a demon child standing in the home's basement. They determined there were demonic forces at work in the home. The Lutz family ultimately sold the property and moved to California. Number 1. The Annabelle case. According to the Warrens, Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll that was given to a young woman named Donna in the early 1970s. Donna and her roommate Angie noticed strange occurrences involving the doll, such as it changing positions or rooms on its own. They also found handwritten notes that seemed to come from Annabelle. Disturbed by these events, Donna and Angie sought the help of a medium, who informed them that the doll was being manipulated by a malevolent spirit. The Warrens were subsequently brought in to investigate. Ed and Lorraine Warren determined that the doll was indeed possessed by a malevolent entity. They believed it to be a demonic presence, not a harmless ghost. They concluded that the doll was not the source of the haunting, but rather a vessel for the negative energy. To contain the doll and prevent further harm, the Warrens took Annabelle into their possession. They placed it in a specially designed glass case with religious artifacts and prayers intended to keep the entity trapped. The Annabelle case has become one of the most famous and controversial cases in paranormal lore. It has also been the subject of movies, including TheConjuring film series. And there you have it, folks. The top 10 demonic possession cases investigated by the legendary Ed and Lorraine Warren. These stories are not for the faint of heart, but they serve as a chilling reminder of the battle between good and evil that persists in our world. Before we close, if you haven't already, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. And before you go, make sure to check out our other videos on paranormal investigations, ghostly encounters, and unsolved mysteries. You never know what you might uncover next. Until next time, brave seekers of the supernatural, remember to keep your lights on and your hearts open. Stay curious, stay safe, and may the truth always find you.